You are about to step into your Empress Era, where you transform from wounded healer to empowered Empress and live your life, lead your business, and love through an open heart from your feminine energy and experience freedom, aliveness, love, feel seen, feel heard, and feel abundant. I want this for you, and I'm so excited for this message that I'm going to share. So, without further ado, let's step into our inner empire and step into your inner emperor. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what it means to be a wounded healer exactly. It's a term that is talked about a lot, but carries so much weight. And while you might resonate with this identity as a healer, the word wounded keeps you stuck in a cycle. And we're going to talk about how to then awaken your feminine superpowers to break free from this cycle. When you say that you're a healer, this is an experience, an identity that has traveled with you across lifetimes. Being a healer is a gift that is familiar to you. It's something that you've done before so many times. Being a healer, healing yourself, being a healer for others is an ancient soul memory. Whether you resonate with the story of being the witch who was burned at the stake for carrying wisdom of healing, of feminine healing, and internalizing this wound of the fear of being seen, the fear of if I am my true self, I'm going to suffer, so I need to hide. Or whether you resonate with the temple priestess in ancient civilizations who protected the goddess lineages, but was betrayed by patriarchy, abandoned by those that she loved and trusted, and having to witness her sisterhood suffer this deep grief and yearning of being belonged, of being held in community. Or whether you resonate with the story of the warrior or the warrioress who fought on the battlefield to protect land and people and culture, but had to sacrifice a lot, had to sacrifice love, had to even sacrifice their own life. So this identity of wounded healer is such a beautiful identity and experience, but also carries a lot of pain and carries a lot of weight. And we shouldn't romanticize this term like society has. But you're different than just a healer. You are here now on this path of entrepreneurship, of business, and bringing in feminine energy into your love life, into the way you lead, into your lifestyle and your relationship with your own body and rhythms and cycles. You are set apart. You're on a different, unique path where you have left behind the systems, or you are wanting to transition out of the systems that are rigid and patriarchal and hold you back. Deep down, what that tells me is that your soul wants to be free. You are allowing yourself to be seen for your story, for your brand, for your voice. You are allowing yourself to break free by walking this path of entrepreneurship. And that is so exciting, but can also be very nerve-wracking because there's not a lot of people who are walking this path. You are a trailblazer. And I myself understand this deep soul yearning, this remembering, because I myself felt these memories of being a temple priestess and a protector of the goddess lineages and also feeling betrayed by those I trusted, also witnessing my women, my sisterhood, the women around me. We were all, trapped and abandoned and suffering in silence. Let me know if you would like a video on that, of past life regressions and therapy, and this concept that our gifts and our pain goes far beyond just our childhood. It's lifetimes. But I really understand how deep it is to be a healer and what that means. It's your path to freedom, to liberation of not just this lifetime, but so many lifetimes. And that's why I'm so passionate about this work, because I believe that as healers, we have soul contracts with people who we were in community with before, and I have come back to empower and liberate myself and my community, all those who cross my path in my work as clients, where this time it doesn't end with heartbreak and grief and regret, but instead it ends with liberation and freedom and love. So with that, I want to talk about now how you can start to break free from this wounded cycle and step into your inner empress, awaken your feminine superpowers. My method is inspired by the tantric goddesses, or the tantric lineage that is so fitting for this experience of destroying but liberating oneself. I like to tell a story. So once upon a time, there was an empress living in her empire. She cared about her people. She wanted to make an impact, but also felt the pressure of having to marry and secure her empire. She was heartbroken by her lover, and everyone around her in the empire started to see her downfall. She broke down, started to cry, and suddenly there was an earthquake that just shattered her entire empire to pieces. The pillars crumbled to the floor, and she was devastated. And suddenly a goddess appeared, dark skin and long hair and a garland of skulls around her neck, and she was fierce but loving at the same time. And she said, "My child, do not fear me, but this is the start of your journey. I had to destroy so you can begin." And she vanishes. Confused, devastated, the empress just falls to her knees and cries. And her mother comes and consoles her and says, "My child, I know this is hard, but I reassure you, this is when you are reborn." So inspired by her mother's words, the empress decides that she wants her lover back, and she wants to start again. She wants to heal and transform. So she goes to the courtroom where the dancer is. The dancer is beautifully whirling with her skirt, her red dress, her long hair with the jasmine flowers. And this dancer is so sensual and playful and youthful, who teaches the empress the art of sensuality, of love, of beauty. She teaches the empress to sway her hips while she dances. She teaches the empress to eat fruit that is sweet, that is juicy, that is slow and sensual, and tasting every bite. But with this, the empress wants more. She wants to have a clear plan of what next. So she goes to her councilwoman and asks them, what exactly does she want from her lover? What should she say? How should she act? And they crafted this strategy and plan. Days passed, weeks goes by, and finally the empire warrioress says, enough planning and take action. You have to find the courage and just get out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to say the right thing. Just go and make it happen. And so the Empress agreed. She sends a sweet dish to each suitor in the empire, and she waits. Days go by, nothing happens. She doesn't hear back. She even goes out to the courtyard and asks the guard if they have seen anyone, any message, any suitor has come by. And he says, no, Empress, I haven't seen anyone. Just devastated and feeling like she's back at square one, the Empress returns to her room weeping. And that's when the wise woman shows up. She is dressed in white, has long silver hair, and has wrinkles full of wisdom. She reassures her, my child, stop looking outside of yourself for your power. Your powers lie inside of you. You are the feminine superpower. And she takes out this mirror of truth and places it in front of the Empress. And in this truth, the Empress sees all of the ways that she is holding herself back. All of the ways that she is stuck in the rigid systems that keep her small, the relationships that keep her small. She sees the way she's trying to control and manipulate, the ways where she struggles to receive love and joy and help from others. And eventually she starts to take accountability. She starts to give herself permission to be loved openly, to lead with intuition, to flow with ease, to operate her empire according to her own cycles. She starts to hear the beauty of her empire. She starts to hear the birds tweet. She starts to hear the distant singing of the gypsy woman. And so she goes out to her balcony and sees below this gypsy woman just adorned in silver and is dancing and singing about her struggles in life and finding empowerment by her joy, by her creativity. And the Empress looks at her in awe because she's so inspired by the freedom that she has and wants that freedom for herself. So the Empress starts singing her own songs and dancing her own stories throughout her empire, throughout the halls of her empire. And in this moment, she starts to see everything falling in place. Her security of her people, the suitors, her lovers start pouring in, but she is so grounded in her own power. And that's when she, in that moment, notices a crown by her side. And on this crown, there are 10 gems, each representing the feminine superpower. The earthquake was Goddess Kali, who grants you the superpower of letting go of what isn't serving you so that you can find freedom. The mother was Goddess Tara, who is all about nurturing and compassion. The court dancer was Goddess Sundari, who's all about the lover archetype, beauty and sensuality and awakening desire again. Councilwoman was Bhuvaneshwari, having a clear vision of what you want, thinking beyond. The warrioress was Goddess Chinnamasta, who's all about surrender and finding courage to take action on what's important for you. Then the guard was Goddess Bhairavi, who's all about devotion and discipline and showing up consistently. The wise woman was Goddess Dhumavati, who's full of wisdom. And the mirror was Goddess Baglamaki, who's all about speaking truths, the truth speaker, and facing the harsh truths, even though they are uncomfortable to face. The gypsy woman was Goddess Matangi, who's all about being a trailblazer and creating beauty and art from your struggles. And as an entrepreneur, as a woman healer, this is your path. You are a trailblazer. She allows you to embrace your uniqueness. 10th gem she realizes is herself, the Empress, represented by Goddess Kamla, who's all about abundance. She puts her crown on her head and feels like an empress from within for the first time in her life. I want this for you too, for you to reclaim your crown as empress and awaken her. In this portal, I've seen my clients start businesses, manifest dream jobs, go from heartbroken and single to married to their soulmate and best friends. I've seen clients attract their dream clients. And so I want this for you in whatever you are desiring. If you are feeling the call to dive even more deeper into awakening your feminine superpowers and breaking the cycle of wounded healer, then I invite you to work one-on-one with me in my Blood and Honey offering, where we work over 6 months and dive even deeper into love, leadership, and your lifestyle. And with that, I'm sending you all my love and wiggles and mwah. Bye.